Welcome to the WION podcast. In this episode, we explore how Donald Trump approved automatic military draft registration in the US, revealing what it really means, why it's changing now, and whether Americans could actually be forced into service. The shift marks a significant change in how the selective service system operates, moving from individual responsibility to government-managed enrollment. Currently, men aged 18 to 25 must register themselves with the selective service system. However, under a newly approved change in the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, signed into law by US President Donald Trump, registration will be automatic and handled by the government using federal data. The coverage age has been expanded to 18 to 26. The change is administrative only, and the US still has an all-volunteer military, as has been in place since 1973. There is no active draft, and registration is only a contingency system. Any future draft would require a national emergency and approval from both US Congress and the President. Supporters of the change say it improves efficiency, reduces costs, and ensures compliance. However, critics have raised concerns about privacy and potential future military use. In strict legal terms, Trump was not a draft dodger, but he did defer military service several times in ways that were lawful at the time. He was neither drafted for military service nor charged with any violation. Trump received 4 student deferments between 1964 and 1968, while attending Fordham University and the University of Pennsylvania. He received 1 medical deferment in 1968 after being diagnosed with bone spurs in both heels, which made him ineligible for standard service. In the 1969 draft lottery, he received a high number of 356 out of 365, making selection unlikely even without the medical deferment. Trump has described the condition as minor and said he was fortunate to avoid service, adding that he opposed the Vietnam War. It has been pointed out that no surgery was performed on Trump for his medical condition. Reported details about the diagnosis are inconsistent. Family members of the diagnosing podiatrist later claimed that the diagnosis may have been given as a favor, while Trump's former lawyer-turned-foe Michael Cohen alleged he privately said the injury was fabricated. This claim is disputed and unproven. However, for context, it should be noted that student and medical deferments were widely used during the Vietnam era. Many public figures used similar legal pathways to avoid serving in the military. The term draft dodger traditionally refers to illegal evasion of military service, such as fleeing the country, which does not apply in Trump's case. Military service is not mandatory in the US, which has had an all-volunteer force since 1973. Registration for selective service is required and will soon be automatic, but this is not a draft. A draft would only occur in extreme circumstances and with government approval. Women are not currently required to register but can serve voluntarily. The US, in short, does not have conscription and only requires registration. This is different from Israel, which has mandatory service for most men and women, and South Korea, which has mandatory service for men, typically lasting 18 to 21 months. The US used conscription only during major conflicts, with the first national draft introduced during the Civil War from 1863 to 1865. During World War I from 1917 to 1919, large-scale military service mobilization was carried out through a lottery system. During World War II, from 1940 to 1947, the first peacetime draft was introduced and later expanded. During the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, the draft continued. The draft was last used during the Vietnam War from 1964 to 1973, before ending. Since then, the US moved to a volunteer military force, and no draft has been used. If the draft system is reinstated, a lottery system would determine the order of selection. Some individuals could qualify for exemptions, including conscientious objectors who cite religious or moral reasons. Political objections are not valid. Thanks for tuning into this incredible story. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more captivating stories to come. Stay tuned.